Hello and welcome back to Simple or Difficult. In this video, I'm going to show you how I created this exterior image. I built the scene in 3ds Max, rendered this using Corona Renderer, and then took it to Photoshop where I did some post-production to it. Okay, if you want to see how I was able to achieve this, if these are the kind of things you're interested in, don't go anywhere, keep watching. So to begin, first of all, we're going to check the units. Make sure everything is in millimeters. All right, everything is in millimeters. So let's import the file now. All right, hit OK. Hit OK. All right, so now let's go ahead and create our camera. Okay, so select Corona camera and then draw it like so. Select Corona renderer. Now we're going to select the double viewport so that we can be working on one and be setting our camera on the other one. All right, but first we need to set the aspect ratio. Okay, so let's click on the render setup. Then go over to common and then set the height to 1166. And then the width 116 and then the height to 1000. Don't forget to lock the image aspect. Okay, let's close it. Now let's turn on the save frame by clicking Shift F, hitting the Shift F button on your keyboard. All right, so let's set up the camera. Now let's go to the camera setup and set some things. First of all, we're going to change the focal length to 30. Okay. Now we're going to go to automatic vertical tilt and check it on. So we keep modifying the camera, adjusting the target and the camera itself, right? Dulling it, going forward and backwards till we get the desired, camera angle that is going to give us the best. Okay. You can see what I'm doing. Just follow the, just follow my steps closely. Now let's add our environment map. Okay, that's going to give, add our sky for us. So select Corona sky and then say, okay, let's close it. All right, let's try a different focal length. Okay. Now we are going to start our interactive render, but before that, there are some things we need to do. We need to set our material override. Click on none, then set the material is going to override it with select Corona legacy material. Hit OK. Okay. Now let's add a plane so our building doesn't appear to be floating when we start doing our interactive render. Let's increase the width and the length, to give it more that vibe of endlessness. Now let's select the viewport we want. Let's reduce this exposure. The image is too bright. Okay. So let's lock this viewport so that anytime we click render, it is going to be rendering from that viewport. Then let's turn off this fast preview denoise during render and then turn off clear VFP. I've already explained the reason why we do that all the time. Okay. The image is blue. There are various ways we can solve this. We can solve it by adding sun or through the white balance. Okay. Let's go ahead and add the sun. Okay. That is going to correct the color of the image, change it, from being bluish, but now it is looking overexposed. Okay, can reduce that using the simple exposure. Okay. All right, now it is time for us to add trees. Let's delete this one. What we're going to be using for this render is Corona. So let's delete the one that is for V-Ray. Delete that test too. So now we're going to begin to place our trees. This tree is going to help us do two things: cover the horizon and also cast shadows. When it comes to rendering, especially exterior render, we have to work very well to make sure that our composition is in order. Okay, right now, composition is not just the position of the camera, and the building itself and other things. Also, we have what we call color composition. We have what we also call the shadow composition. All these things, they work together to make your image really look realistic and nice. Okay, so we're going to put these trees to cover the horizon, like I said before, and also cast nice shadows and add some beautiful scenery to this image that we're about to create. So there's no special way to do this. Okay, you just follow your guts. If you have a reference image, follow the reference image and place the trees however you deem fit. The important thing is it is looking realistic. The placements are looking realistic. Okay. So I'm going to put trees, high quality trees. Then for the background, I'm going to use forest park, okay, to cover those parts up. All right. So when you bring in the trees, you can scale it, you can move it around, you can rotate it, to get the best out of, the trees. All right. There are various places you can download, trees from. I will put link in the description. Do check the description to, see, some of the links I've placed there so that you can go there and download the trees. Okay, to be able to achieve what you are looking to achieve. All right. Let's just set this thing up. Now let's interactive render and see how everything is looking. Okay. So it is good to work, as much as you can with interactive render. So as you are doing things, you are seeing them in real time. Okay. But how if your system cannot, carry it because it takes a lot from the system to be able to do this interactive render. If your system cannot carry it, you can be doing, test render. When you move things around, you just, set your aspect ratio to low resolution and then like do a render and see what you have done. Okay. I don't recommend that. But if that is what you have to do, you have to do what you have to do. You understand? We still have a lot of work to do. Now let's get to it. Let's use the forest back to, cover the background. Okay, let's have that forest kind of look behind the scene. But to do that, first of all, we need to draw a line. Okay. So we can now host the forest back, like the trees on those lines. Okay. We are now going to host the trees along the set lines. This line I'm drawing now. So click, then hit escape. Okay, you can set that so that whenever you click, you don't mistakenly select the plane that is behind. Okay. So let's select the tree we want to host on the lines. Select anyone you want. I'm going to select this one. Import selected, then select the line. Say okay. Now let's go to the settings, to the modify, and modify it. Okay. We just have to increase the distribution. Now, the thing about the distribution is, as you reduce the number, the elements, gets bigger. Okay. So you see, I'm reducing the number now. You can see the trees are, coming out more. Now it is too much. We need to increase the number some more so that the elements will become less. I think this is okay. I don't know why it doesn't want to go down over there. But the thing is, we're going to, let me see if I move this thing down, it's going to come out. Nothing. It's not working. I might just have to add, an additional trees over there when the time comes. Let me see if this is going to help add. It is not adding it. Let's see how it looks. We need to bring these three down. So select the line, go to like an elevation view, and then using the move tool, move it down. Okay. So it does the main work we want it to do for us, which is cover the horizon. Yes, as you can see, it has covered it. That's the trick. Let's see the type of shadow I'm going to cast with this tree on the building, because we need, some shadows on the building. Okay. So now I'm going to change it from generate to custom edit. What that does for you is it allows you drop these elements one by one instead of hosting it along something like we just hosted it on the line now. Now, when you drop it, you can now move it around like so. Okay. Can copy it, can move it. Let's see. You didn't really do much. I think I'll be needing a bigger tree in this place so that I can, because this building is just facing the sun. I need to cast a little bit of shadow. Like I said, shadow composition is really, really important, in making your image look nice and realistic. Okay. Let me see if I move the sun. No. I really don't like the effect, so I'm going to undo that. We're going to use big tree. Yes. Go and select a huge tree. Yes, import. So we're going to use it to cast shadow on this building. Let's see if the one I've dropped has an effect. Not really. But that means we are going to, we have to now move it around to place it at the right position. Okay, I've seen that it's not the tree size, rather it is the positioning of the tree. So now all you have to do is select the tree, move it around till it is positioned properly in a place where it is going to give us what we want. Okay. That is just it. I think this tree is double. I don't know. Wait. Oh, aha! I said it. It is double. Well, you can see our shadow is beginning to come out at the edge of this image. Now all we have to do is move it around a little bit more. We're going to get what we're looking for. Don't worry about the double tree. It's not really, you know, doing anything bad. I can choose to select it singly and delete it, but I don't. Because of our time, let's just keep going. Okay. So now there's no special way of doing this thing. Okay. Just to move it around till you're comfortable with the shadow it is casting for you. And that's just it. Okay, we are going to keep moving the trees and making copies till we get what we want. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. It's beginning to, come close to what I might like. Let's leave it like that for now. Yes. Move the camera backwards a little bit. Okay. Let's add more trees in places that we are having less trees. Consider that place is a bit scanty, but now after we added the trees, you can see it's giving us the forest vibe, something that we always wanted. Let me make a little bit of an adjustment to this tree. Okay. Let's see what difference that makes. Now we're going to create the topography for the site. Okay. So first of all, let's draw the lines the way I'm drawing them. Now this is the path I want the topo to follow. So let's go ahead and draw it. All right. So yes. Okay. Apply the extrude modifier to it. So the next thing we need to add, the next modifier we need to apply to this stuff that we just created. We need to apply the subdivide modifier. All right. So let's just find that one. Don't use this one that has subdivide something in bracket. Find one that is just subdivide. Okay, we're going to see it now. All right, now that it is applied, we are now going to convert this shape to editable poly. All right, now we can use source selection and gently move things up, but then we need to increase the fall off. Right, just increase it and you see what happens. We need to increase it more. No, fall off is what we need to increase. I see how gentle it is. Yeah. So just select different parts of this shape and we're going to raise them, bit by bit. And let's look to see if the edges are raising up and bring them down a little bit. Let's see. You can see this part, that edge is raising up. Okay, let's deal with it. I'm gonna use button. I'm gonna select the edges. I'm going to bring them down a little bit. First of all, let's reduce the fall off and raise the topo. Okay, and raise the topo a little bit. Well, we'll now reduce the edges so that they will go back into the ground and then give us this seamless. Give us this seamless joinery with the floor. All right. So let's do the same for the other side. Drawing the topo. First, let's get rid of this. This is a Revit car, that I added in Revit. Now I think it's high time we removed it. So let's add the topo for this side too. First of all, we're going to draw the lines. It all starts from a line. Make a little bit of adjustment over here and here and here. Okay. Now let's apply the extrude modifier, then apply subdivide. Remember, the subdivider is just subdivide, no bracket, nothing. Okay, then the next thing we're going to do is editable poly. Then using the vertexes, we're going to now turn on the self-selection and then increase the fall off. Okay, increase it all the way till we start seeing the blue and the green portion. Okay. Raise it up in different places. Let's do from this side instead. Okay, I'm doing what is called bound zoom. Okay, I've already set mine as a shortcut, Control K. Okay. Yeah. let's put the edges back into the ground. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Let me save first. I notice I've not saved since. Okay. So now we have added some effects to the site. We've added some topographic effects to the site. So now let's continue. Let me raise this tree a little bit. Mm-hmm. That's better. Way better. Mm-hmm. Very, very good. All right. Really, really nice. So we have succeeded in setting our cameras, our lights, and we've added some topography to the site. Now I think it's that time that we worked on our materials. So I'll turn off the material and let's see, what we're going to see when we try to do a render. All right, now we have some materials that are from Revit. Okay, we have, some that are not even Corona material. So now we're going to fix all that. All right. Let me try, selecting all materials. Okay, just say okay. Now you can now apply Corona material to them. This is a way you can do this thing. Okay, you can select all the materials that are not Corona materials manually like this. Okay, and you can apply Corona legacy or physical materials to all of them. You can do that. You can set the glossiness to 0.4. That's going to give you a nice warm material there. Because now what we're doing, we are setting the shaders. Okay, shaders, after which we are now going to create the main materials that we are going to now apply to these things. Okay. So like we did before, you pick it and then you select all, the elements that have this material, hit okay, and then apply the material to them. This is a lot of walls that I've selected like that now. So you apply it, now you can make changes to this material. Okay, now I'm going to manually select the walls that I want them to have concrete material, different from this other one. Okay, these are concrete materials. So let's rename these materials. Okay, this is how you rename materials. So let's make changes to this shader. Okay. Okay, as you can see. We are going to apply wood material to those ones as well. Now it's time for us to change the shade of these two and make it like grayish. Okay. Yeah. So when we do interactive render, you will see, some of the walls, because I've selected them and I've made these changes to them. They are now showing, but we still have a lot of things in this work that needs to be turned into corona material. Okay. You can select them one by one like so and apply the materials to them manually, like I said. Okay, I'm just trying to create all the material types that I'm going to need to be able to pull off this project. Okay, I've done that part. Okay, let's go ahead and create, and work on everything that has to do with the glass material, both the mullion, the windows, and the curtain walls. Okay, so I'm going to pick them like this. I think I'm done picking all of them. I'm going to pick them like this and I'm just going to replace them. I'm going to replace them with Corona default materials. Okay, these materials here are still nice. You can use them to do a lot. Okay. Let me now get the metals. Aluminum black anodized. Select these ones and I'm going to delete them. Okay. But then we can be doing, or we can just select everything and we can convert them. Select the material of the object and we'll convert everything to Corona material straight up. All right. That is going to change everything to Corona Legacy material. Or Corona material rather. Now let's plug aluminium and glass material to this multi-textured material. Multi-material material. Okay. Okay, as you can see, our windows, all the windows in this project, that is like that. All the instances of these windows, we have successfully changed them. Okay, yeah. Now let me select the handrails. Select all by material, hit OK, and then apply the aluminum material to it. Select it and then click apply. Alright, these two Let me use the pick tool and pick it. Now select by material. Okay. And then select the aluminium, hit apply. The down pipe, the same thing, everything select. Then the aluminium, select the aluminium, hit apply. Let's reduce this, glossiness a bit. Let's make it like 0.6 or thereabout. I think 0.4 is better, 0.49. Let's leave it like that. Let me select all these Revit materials and delete them. Yeah. Let's see what we've got. Okay. We have made a lot of changes, but then a lot of things are still remaining. Okay, I don't know. Well, we can start by working on the roof. So due to our time, let's convert everything. Let's convert everything to Corona material, so we can just, because if we say let's be doing it one by one, we still have a lot of places in the interior that we don't even know about. Okay, that we still have to texture and apply Corona material to. But like this now, we have converted everything to Corona material. Okay, both the V-Ray, both the Revit material, everything is now Corona. So when we render, you're going to see all those red, lights and colors that we don't like, they'll all go away. Now all we have to do is select, some part of the model and then apply exactly the type of Corona material that we want to apply to those parts. Now when you look at the trees, you can see that some part of them are just looking like they are looking weird. Okay, they are looking weird. We're going to adjust that, but first of all, let's turn on the bloom and the glare, and then sharpen and blurring of the image. Let's adjust the settings a bit. Okay, so we're gonna get some sharpness to the image. Add 4 there. Yeah. For now, let's leave it like that. Let's fix the tree situation and make everything, live in the way they're supposed to be. Okay. So these are already pre-saved directory. If you don't have any saved, you can just come over here and select the folder you want, like so, and then relink. That also works. Now let's do interactive again. You're gonna see because I've relinked the maps, you can see now the trees are full. They're leafy now, just like we want them to be. Now see the material we created and added. You can see the glasses reflecting the trees in the background. Exactly what we want, how we want it. Now let's make a little bit of adjustment over there. Let's duplicate this tree and I'm gonna scale it down a bit. Let's see how that looks. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let me change the color of the material. I want it to be black aluminium as well. So I'm going to select by material. That selects every aspect of the row for me. So I'm going to come over here, apply black aluminium material to it. All right. Let me be sure. Okay, yeah, everything is selected. So let's do interactive render and see how that looks. Not bad. Exactly, not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah. Yeah. Let me stop that for a while. So I think that's basically it for now. Increase the exposure a little bit. So I think it's high time we do something about our site and topo situation. The way it is blue is no longer okay. We have to do something about it for real, for real. Right. So let's see. Interactive render. That's way better. Much better. Yeah. Much better. Very much better. All right, so it's time for us to start, creating the real materials right now. So I'm going to bring this one, then I'm going to add the maps. Okay. So let's add the diffuse map. And just drag the map in like so, the way I'm doing it. For the pump, we're going to be using normal material. Okay. Just follow me closely. And just like that, because we've already applied the materials, they are where they're supposed to be already. All we have to do now is to map this material using the UVW map. I want this whistler to be vertical. All right. So I'm going to select the gizmo and I'm going to rotate it. But first of all, the way we have just isolated it now, you can see it is horizontal. So I'm going to select the gizmo and I'm going to rotate it vertically by 90 degrees. So first of all, let's see the axis that we need to rotate. Then go there in the y-axis and add 90 and then hit OK. That has done the job for us. Okay. So what's now left for us to do is increase the size of this. But first of all, let's see how it's looking. Let's use region render to speed things up. Okay. It's time for us to work on the size of the material, using the material, the UVW map. Okay. We're going to, adjust things till we are satisfied with the way things are looking. Okay, there's no special way of doing this thing. Okay, you can just, this is an art, like I keep saying, visualization is an art. So you just increase the size, reduce the size till you get what you have in mind, till you get what feels right to you. All right, so that's what I'm going to do now. Let's see. Okay, not looking bad. Okay, we need to work on this material. There are some part of the grains that I want, for it to be pronounced. All right, and right now it is not really gotten it for me the way it is. So we're going to use the output, and we're going to figure out, where to keep things in order to get that contrast, between the grains, the grains and the light grains of the wood. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can see the difference that made. All right, but I think the contrast is too much. Okay, now we're going to use color correction to desaturate it a little bit. No, not this. No. Let me make sure. Let's add 0 in there. The saturation is what we need to work on. To drop the saturation a little bit, and then work on the hue shift. It's beginning to have this purplish tint. Now we're going to take it towards the side of yellow a little bit. All right. Let's see. Yeah, looking good. Looking really good. Let's work on the bump. Let's leave that there for now. That's gonna give us, make the material actually increase the 3D-ness, make it look more realistic. All right. Yep. Now I want this line to be right above the window. This horizontal line. I want the top, that one, to be right above the window. Let's see if we can adjust the size of this UVW map. Let me just take it back to what it was before, please. I think I prefer that. Even though that may not be the best, but it's better than what we have now. And let's move the line back to the top of the window. All right. So I'm just going to copy this UVW map and I'm going to paste it anywhere we have this material. That way I don't have to be editing everything all over again. All right. Yeah. I'm just going to move this thing down a little bit, even though I don't have to. Yeah. Okay. Let me see something. The wood is not shining enough. Okay. I think we need to work on the wood shininess a little bit. All right. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you something really cool now. All right. We need to get the interactive render going. So now if I select the diffuse and I add 0 there, it will only start showing me the reflection and glossy maps. Okay. So all I need to do is come down to output, enable color map, then add this, turn it to bezier smooth. When I move it up, you notice that the reflection is now shining the more. Okay, as you can see. All right. Let's make a little bit more adjustments to it. This is a treated wood. Okay, they should shine. I don't want them to have that rough maker culture wood. I want it to be like a treated wood that has all these varnishes and everything applied to them. Okay, all those things help, preserve the wood. All right, so I'm just going to do the same thing to this other map, but a little bit different. You can see I'm doing it to the RGB color. I just need a little bit. Let me add one back in there. Okay, so now the image, yeah, now the image information about the material is showing back, but now you can see that the material has better reflection than it did a while back. It's time for this wood, I guess. That's it over there. So let's, add the maps for the material, just like we did for the other wood. Normally, as we used to do, let's use normal map for a bump, then select the material and then change it to add gamma to the input. That is not the gloss map. Let's remove it. Bring in the gloss map. Attach it to the reflective gloss. Attach this other one too. Okay. Attach this other one to the reflective column. Now it is time for us to do the UVW. Time to map it appropriately. This looks a bit stretched. Let's do something about that. But then I want the material to be vertical, not horizontal like that. So I'm just going to add 90 over here. See, now it's vertical. Now let's keep working on the materials. That's about right. So let me just add to everywhere like so. Then do the same thing for this, 2 everywhere. I think we might have to rotate this map a little bit. I'm just going to leave it, turn it the other way. You will not notice the difference, okay, because I've already applied shaders to it and the material is not that, it doesn't have that big area. surface area, so we may not be able to see what it is that I just did. But if I zoom in like this, if I do pan zoom and zoom in like this, you might see it a little bit. To the exposure, you cannot see much. Let me take it down a little bit. Yeah, now you can see. Disable pan zoom. Let's take it back up a bit, I beg. Yeah. Not bad. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to apply it here. Alright. Let me apply the material to those elements. Then copy the material, the UVW map. Let me apply them one after the other. I think that's gonna solve the problem. Yeah, I think that's better now. So now we are going to detach this surface so we can be able to apply the same material on that other surface. You can see right now we're having this black material, okay, because of the way the model was modeled in Revit. Okay, so best way to solve this problem is to select the polygon and then select that face and detach it. Okay, now you can select the face and you can apply the material you want to it, and then you can see now everything is the same. You can now apply, copy and paste UVW map, and everything will just align up for you the way you want it. And let me select the concrete material we're going to use for that wall. This is the concrete material we're going to be using. All right. That's right. So I'm going to select these ones because originally we created this material and we added them to it. So now I'm going to adjust the UVW map to suit it now. Let me start from the beginning. Just the normal thing we always do with the UVW map. Adjust it till we are satisfied with what we're seeing. Like I keep saying, 3D visualization is an art. Yeah, you might have to isolate it sometimes to get a better look, just like I'm doing. You might have to, change the preview of the material so you can see it better on the viewport, just like I've just done. And you might also want to do interactive render to get a better feel of how the material is going to look like when you finally render it. Okay, just like I'm doing right now. All right. Yeah, so all we need to do now is apply the same UVW map all over the place. So now I'm going to copy it. Now let me start pasting it all over the place. Delete the one that was there before and paste. Delete the one that was there before and paste. Delete the one that was there before and paste. Yep. So let me set up my final render because now I want to be doing renderings. Okay, like I said, test renders now so I can get a higher resolution of the material, the way they're going to look when I finally render them. All right. Let me shift this thing to one side. You can see. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Let's go back to our interactive. Let's make the gamma. Let's take it down a notch. Oh no, last things. me save. It's been a while since the last time I saved. All right, it is time for us to add the hedges. Okay, add the hedges that are going to be right beside the building. So it's just a matter of, being creative with these things. All right. So just you see how I'm going to place it around in a way that is going to add to the character of this building. That's very, very important, for you to know that you don't just get these things and just place them. Okay, you have to place them in such a way that it helps tell the story, about the image you're creating. Very, very important. Now, this is not a Corona material. Okay, that's a V-Ray material. So it is still selected. So I'm going to select Corona converter. I'm going to select the materials of the selected object. I'm going to uncheck the Corona legacy material because I don't want this to change my Corona material all to Corona physical materials. Okay. Now I'm going to open relink bitmap and I'm going to relink the bitmaps of this model that I just brought in. Now, when I do interactive render game, it is going to look a lot better than what we're seeing right now. Just take a look at it. You see, we have solved the problem. Now, I'm thinking it is not giving me what I want, so I'm just gonna wait a minute. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna stop it for now. I'm now gonna move this in outside. And I'm going to bring them in one by one and arrange them the way I want them to be arranged. All right. Okay. So that the building, it will add, it will tell a story about this environment. Okay. Tell a story about the building as well. Add to the character of the building and make your render a memorable render. Not the render that can disrupt scrolling on the internet. Okay, it's not the one that just there, meh. So we're just gonna, arrange it in a way that, realistic way. Just watch me closely and try and follow, what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to achieve. Okay, you just have to looking at it to see what it is you're doing. Okay. And also like do interactive render or test render from time to time. That helps a lot. So when you do that, you now realize, okay, maybe this thing is not the way I imagined it to be. It didn't turn out the way I imagined it to be. So I have to make adjustments. All right. I have to go back and rotate it a little bit more, move it up a little, or move it backwards. Okay. This is your world. You have, the power to create or recreate anything the way you want them to be. Okay. As long as they are realistic and they pass the image that you want to pass, everything is okay. Let's see what we have done. Okay. All right. Let me duplicate this one. Hold and shift and then move it to any direction you want and then select whether you want it to be instance or be made unique. Yeah. Well, let's see. I think we need to move this thing backwards a little bit, but let's see first. Let's see. I don't like that gap. But when I take this thing over there, it's going to block everything. Let me see. Let's just see. Well, let's get a better look at it. I think where it was before is better. Let me take this thing back. That's gonna just, yeah. This is good. All right. Feel free to place yours wherever you want yours to be. But for me, this is it. I tell you. Yeah. So I want to bring in a different type of hedge, okay, for different places. Like I want to place some in the front and some beside the tree the tree I placed by the other end of the building. So let's just do that. It is very big. I have to scale it down a bit. Yeah. Scale it up. That's right about it. Yep. Make it duplicate and let's rotate it now. Let's rotate it you know, around that axis. hmm I like the way that is looking. And just, take it up a little bit. Bring it up. This one too. Yeah. Yeah. Let's place another one over there. I'm gonna scale it down. Now let's move the remaining hedges down to where we have the tree. No? Select them again. I was about to move the plane right now. Okay, so that's it. So let's, put them in place. We have to scale it, we have to move it, we have to rotate it, whatever I have to do to get them in the right shape, size, and location, to better suit our to better achieve our goals. And duplicate it, creating a copy. Let's see how that looks over there. Okay, time for us to save. Now let's put curtains in the interior of this building. Okay. Now, usually we have curtains inside the building, so this is going to help us, shield off some part of the interiors and also add to the realism of the image. All right. So I'm not gonna put it like this. Obviously, I'm gonna make it make sense. So I'm gonna delete this big part. All right. So I'm gonna open it up like so. Okay. This is a sub object. I'm working in the sub object because the curtain I'm using is like one element, but under sub objects you can now pick it apart just like I've done so. All right. And now I'm just going to set it, in a place, how it is going to look good. Okay. It's all about the art now. I'm also going to alter it a bit for it not to look exactly the same. So I'm going to have to move it around and stuff like that. Okay. Let's not forget to relink the maps. So it doesn't look exactly the same as the one I placed under. Okay. Exactly. All right, so it's time for us to add materials to this topography that we added here. Okay, not necessarily we're going to use forest park though. Okay, so let me first of all save. Okay, so we're going to use a preset, layered lawns preset. So we're going to select this. Let's use that middle one. Yeah, we're going to select that one. So, yeah, this one. Import selected. Just going to click. Oh, is that custom edit? All right. I am just going to undo this. No, let me just delete it. Okay, hit delete on your keyboard. Now we're going to do it again. Change it from custom edit to generate like so. Okay, we have already selected the presets we want. Just say no. We don't want the large area camera clipping stuff. Say no, and then there you have it. So we're going to do it for this other side too. It's already selected, but let's select it again. Import selected, and then just click there. Also say no. And there you have it. All right, so let's just do an interactive render and see what we've got. Okay. I don't want that that grass to be like, I want it to be like, uniformed. Okay. We need to be seeing some part of it needs to be, the ground, seeing the soil, and then you see, the grass. That's why I chose that particular one. Okay. Yeah. So let's work a little bit on the tone mapping and then select the one that is best suited for us. Just trying out things here, guys. Let's take a look at the forest parks. The grass I just added, added topo. Okay. Exactly what I want. Okay. Can see what I was talking about. On uniform, some part will be showing the earth, while others will just be showing, scanty grass-like, vibes. That's what I was going for. So it's time to select that topo and add the material to it. Yep. These two. Then let's isolate them. It's time to add like corona material. Okay. Let's use this one, the ground mossy. Okay. So I'm just gonna select that and I'm gonna apply this to it. Okay. Now let's use UVW map to, try and get it in one piece. For now, I leave it like as it is. Exactly the vibe I'm going for. You can see. Yep. Exactly. So all I'm just have to do is select the other, the other topo on the other side, and then apply the same material and UVW map to it. Right. So let me stop this. Let's go into wireframe mode so I can select it. Apply this. Now let me go and copy the UVW map of this one. Let me go back to the first one, the other one, and then paste it there. Control paste. Okay. Yeah. Now I want to create the gravel. Okay, I want to add the gravel, but then you don't have to put it everywhere. You see what I just did with the camera now? Okay, I just made the camera start showing its cone all the time. So with that, I can now draw the line where I'm going to host the gravel. I can now draw the line, where I am sure that it is going to show on the camera, because these things, they tend to get heavy. Forest park elements, they tend to get heavy. All right, so this is like a trick of how I, make sure that everything is efficient. The things, I am adding is efficient to the camera. Of course, you'll be looking at the camera view too, to see the things I'm drawing, how it is showing up. Okay. But then the cone of the camera is like the ultimate guide. It gives you that, guide and direction. Okay, put this there. You can see what I'm doing now. And at the end of the day, it is so efficient. Yeah. Now I know that anything I host on this line I just drew, it is going to show up on the camera like it is everywhere. But it's just where the camera is showing, that's where it is. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So it is time for us to do the deed. So you can see gravel over there on stones. Gravel. Yeah, that one. So you can just select the one you want. Let's first of all start with this one. Let's see how that goes. Making sure is that generate. So what happened the last time I tried to, generate these geometries when it is on custom. When it's on custom. All right. Okay, it's time for us to apply that same material we did, on the topo. This is also topo, but I did it with a plane, so yeah. Yes, it is still active. I don't think it is going to work the same for it, but let's leave that for now. We're going to adjust that later. Let's see how the gravel is showing. The gravel that we just added, let's see how it is showing up. All right, we need to do something about the edges where they meet. And you see, it is not looking good. The material, the mappings on the material is making the material look a bit greenish. Okay, so we're going to deal with that later. What else? Let's see what exactly is going on there. Whether this undesirable greenish color is indeed from the UV mapping that we did. Yeah, it is. It is. You can see that stuff. That means we are now going to make adjustments. But before that, we need to move this gravel to meet the grasses more. That helps with the realism of the image. But let's see if we can even get a better gravel. Let's just go with what we already have. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Keep clicking as many times as you have to. Okay. Eventually, you're going to select the gravel. Okay. Let's use this one instead. Doing it from this place is going to unload the one we have already and reload this this particular one that we are, loading now. Okay. Yeah. So now let's, work on the boundary. See how that happens. Let me see. Let's do interactive render. And see the impact this thing has on the general image as well. This particular gravel that we just added has more color. Okay, you can see the different colors of gravels in there. Okay, but now it is still the same thing. These edges, you can see, it's as if they are running away from the grasses, as if there's a magnet there. We actually need to do something about it. Okay, let's go back. And let's do serious, UVW mapping here from the scratch. Let's figure it out together. Okay. All right, so let's start working. We're beginning to get something. Yeah, when you put it out, everything at one, you can see we are getting something like not looking so bad. So let's make it a little bit smaller than one. But let's start with one first. Okay. Yeah, you can see now that green, undesirable green looking stuff is no longer there. Okay. Yeah. Let's remove it from edge and put it on points. As if that's going to help. Okay. From time to time, we're going to be working, with our, we're going to be tone mapping the image. Let's add highlight compression. Okay. Now, when we use it, we don't need to use access OT. Okay. Highlight compression is what I normally use, almost all the time. Even though I use access OT, if it looks good, like I said, it's all about the visuals. It's all about the visuals. Okay. It is an art, not a science. There is no special technique that I use. Okay. I will show you the basic techniques that you need. Okay. But then when you're doing it, you use your eyes and, figure out what is working and what is not working. Okay. So now, see, when you move, like I've shown several times in this, tutorial, in this video, when you move the line that the forest park is hosted on, the forest park moves with it. Okay, so now I want to move this thing in because, like I said before, it is looking like it is a magnetic stuff, where the gravels are running away from the edge of the grasses. Okay, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm just going to drag them in like this so that they connect, seamlessly, like realistically. Okay. Don't need to do anything on that side. As you can see, it's not looking bad at all. Let's see. Let's move it down a bit. So it will be looking as if the thing is submerged into the ground. With time, the more you walk on gravel, the more car moves on gravel, it tends to enter the ground the more. So that's the purpose of what I just did there. Now, as you can see, our gravel is now interacting, with the edge of the topo that we added, that elevation in topo that we added over there. Okay, and I think, personally, it is looking pretty nice. Okay, it's looking pretty nice. Okay, maybe we need to take it down a little bit more. Okay, but we need to create a fence behind so it covers that open space that is being reflected on the window, in the glass of the window. Okay, so we're going to select the standard primitives. We're going to come over here behind, make sure it doesn't show on the camera frame, and then raise it up. All right, you can increase the height to 3000. I mean, now let's apply like a black wall material to it. Okay, let's use this matte material, black paint, wall paint, black matte, And then we're going to duplicate it. We're going to cover the other side too. The purpose of this is to cover up the horizon and everything that is going to show up in the reflection in the window glass. We definitely do not need that. All right. Just be looking at the window glass. Yeah, you can see it is now reflecting the walls instead. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going for. Yeah, that's good. So let's stop it. Now let's bring in a vehicle to the scene. I want the convertible. So let's remove the one that has a covered roof. Delete. No, I'm gonna rotate it the other way around. Yeah, I don't like the color of this first and foremost. I want it to be like red or something contrasty. Okay, to what we already have going on. We have green all over the place. I don't need another additional green, in the vehicle. You feel me? Now we need to raise the car up a little bit, just a little bit, to make sure it's on top of the gravel. Let's take a look at it before we make any decision. Yeah, exactly what I'm talking about. I need it to be red. Definitely need it to be red now. So the good thing about this is that the material, the car came with various materials. Okay. Which we are going to use, by the way. So when you look here, you see different color of the materials. So that's the red one. We're going to use that one. Okay, let's move it down here a little bit. So we're going to select by material and then hit OK. Okay. And then we're now going to open recursively. That ungroups everything to the last bit. So now I will do that, select by material again, hit OK. And yeah, this is all the part that has the green material. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to apply the red material to it. Okay, so that is it. We're done. Let's see how it looks. Exactly. Now you see the difference between that. Can you see? The red, definitely. We're using the red. Definitely. So yeah, I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna close the group back. Okay, yeah, I've closed it. Move it forward a little bit. I'm going to select all the materials over here and I'm going to delete all of them. We're done with them. All right. Yep. So hit delete on your keyboard. Select this one to delete it. We have the material in our material editor, so can always use it if we ever need to use it. Yeah. Is it okay there? Let's see how it is, where it is, and how it's looking. Okay. We need to relink. We need to relink the bitmaps of this car. Okay, so I'm going to select the folder where it is, and then I'm going to relink it. Okay, you can see the plate number, the tires, everything, has been relinked. Now let's go back and add the mass of the gravel that we just added. All right. I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's do an interactive render. An interactive render. So yeah, the car is looking way better than it was looking before. Always relink the maps using the relink bitmap. That script is actually free. Okay, it is free on ScriptSpot, but you can always donate something to the creator of that script because the script saves life. It saves life a ton. All right. So let's desaturate the wood a little bit more. Like I said, it is an art. The more you do it, the more you use your eyes to look at it to see what you are doing, whether to add or to remove. Okay? Thank you. I've spent so much time on this video, so I think we should call it a wrap. All right? Let's go ahead and save first. Okay? And I think we should take the gravel down a little bit, just a little bit. Just a little bit like so. Let me see. Yeah. So I'm going to stop it right now. I'm going to go to render setup and we're going to set our denoiser. We're going to set it to Corona high quality. We have already set our width, so no need. Now it is time for us to do the final render so that we can export this image and go and collect money from the client. Okay. Well, first of all, let's touch the bloom a little bit. The bloom is too much. You reduce the size to somewhere around 11 or 10. Okay, reduce the bloom intensity and also the glare intensity, like so. So yeah, hit the render and allow it to render till the noise level is reasonable. Okay. All right, so it is beginning to show up. Now I'm going to allow it to render. Then we are going to do post-production for the image. All right, so when it's done rendering, we are going to come back, we're going to save it. Then we're going to do post-production for this image. All right. Okay, now it is done rendering. Now it is time for us to save out this image. Okay, so we can now proceed to Photoshop to go and edit it. All right? Yeah. So, all right, so the first thing we need to do is just to, click on stop. That will activate the denoiser and it will start denoising. Then when it is done denoising, then we can now go ahead and save it wherever you want it to be saved. Okay, so you can call it whatever you want it to be. And then add override 2.2, set the image as PNG, and then make sure it is at that middle one. Uncheck alpha. Alpha is going to delete your sky for you if you leave it on. So you have to uncheck it. Yeah. So it has saved that now. Next thing we need to do is go over to Photoshop. Now we're in Photoshop. First thing we need to do, convert to Smart Object. All right. And then duplicate it. Now let's go over to the filter and then, well, first of all, let's add curve, to make our image pop, to give it depth, foreground and background. All right. Let's go over there and select camera raw filter. First of all, I always like to hit auto. Okay, that helps, keep me where I need to be before I now start pulling things around. Increase the exposure a little bit. Reduce the blacks, reduce the shadows. Increase the highlight a little bit. Increase the saturation a little bit. Dehaze the image. Okay. Add a little bit of clarity and texture. Yeah. Then details, we're going to sharpen the image a little bit. And then, everything a little bit of everything. Okay. So let's do a little bit of before and after. You can see how we have recovered the image. Okay. Yeah. Add a little bit of tint to it. Increase the shadow. Okay. Increase the saturation a little bit more. hit OK. Yep, that's really nice. That's really cool. You can see the effect of the curve that we added. Okay, let's see the automatic a little bit. Yeah. All right. Now let's add a little bit of sharpness to it even more. Using the unsharp mask. Okay, you can see the effect already. We need to increase the amount a little bit, but not so much like this. You just keep it somewhere, keep it moderate. Okay. Okay, I think that's cool now. Now we're going to, reduce the hue. Okay, take it to -4 a little bit in the hue saturation adjustment. Just a little bit. All these things, if you make it exaggerated, it is not going to look nice. So everything is like perfume. Apply it in little quantities. At the end of the day, all of them will work together to give you magic. Yeah. All right. So let's add a little bit of level too. Just a little bit. All right. Yeah. Let's see before and after. See what we had before? See what we're having now? That's a huge transformation. All right. So I want to add a veneer. Okay. No. So I want to use the camera raw filter to do that. I want to add like this black stuff around the edges, the corners of the image. So I'm gonna, go into the camera raw filter and then add it. So the image is gonna look a lot cooler. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. So that's it for this video. If you like this video, please give us a like and do, check out more of our content on our channel. If you are new to this channel. If this is the first video you're watching from our channel, okay, consider subscribing, because we drop videos just like this one, including how you can create a being compliant model on our channel, on a weekly basis. All right, so do consider subscribing. Not only that, ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future tutorials when we do post new ones. Okay, thank you very much once again for watching. I'll see you in my next video.